Hello, in today's video, we will talk about the free market, the market with foreign suppliers, and also the market with tariffs. So at the beginning, let's think about we're in a market that's only selling pizzas. So at this point, we have the supply curve over here, like this one, and we have a demand curve like this one. So there has the equilibrium of the price 2 and the output of 5. So what is the consumer surplus? The consumer surplus are the area of the price they're willing to buy above the price that are at the equilibrium point. So as you could say, in this picture, the consumer surplus should be like this area. And then we will consider about the producer surplus. So the producer surplus means the price they are willing to earn, the list price they're willing to have, and also under the price. So we could say it's over this area. So the consumer surplus plus the producer surplus at this moment, they are adding a large total surplus. So think about another situation. What if there has a foreign country or a foreign business that are enter in this market with selling a pizza which price is much lower than the original one? So let's think about if we have a local business at this supply curve, but we have a foreign suppliers, their price is just $1. So now things changes. In the past, the local business could selling for 5 pizzas, but now they could only selling just for 4 because after 4 their selling price is much higher than this foreign company. So they're not willing to sell a price that are lower than the price they want to sell. So they will lose one consumer from the foreign company. And now the new equilibrium is over here. And we have a consumer surplus not only just for this area, but we're adding this area. So it will be this total. But our producer surplus will decrease. Instead of that large, that part becomes a consumer surplus, and it also loses this value. So the new producer surplus will only be this area. Now let's think about another situation. So because the foreign company has earning some money from the local company, and then the local company are complaining about what happening. So they're asking the government to adding a tariff. So what will happen to this charge if there has a tariff? So let's drawing another picture with the same thing. So in the past, we have a local business that is over here, but after adding the tax, they have to increase their price because they want to make sure that they are still earning money. So the line is kind of above from the past over here to here. So let's just make this become a larger one. So in the past, this is the foreign selling with $1. But now, adding a tariff, they have to increase their price over here. So their new price will be over here, and then at this point, this part will be the tariffs. So it's TARIFFS. So tariffs will goes to the government. as the revenue. And then what happened to the consumer surplus and also the supplier surplus? So let's say this is the price, this is output. So rather than they have the whole things, but now they're adding this price. So the consumer are willing to buy the food inside this area because the price is higher. So their area was from this large to this amount. So they are losing its surplus. And also for the producers, rather than they only have this small area, but they have a larger one over here. So there has some losses from this area because we could say there has two small triangle that they not belong to the consumer surplus and also the producer surplus. So this part we could this be the deadweight loss. So deadweight loss means that those kinds of money just will disappear, not adding to the consumer surplus, neither to the producer surplus. So these are the outcome if we have a foreigner suppliers or if we are adding the tariff. So from these things we could know that it is always good for us to have a free trade so that people and also the producers could get the money they want and they are more satisfied of what they have.